Marriage doesn't break because couples don't love each other. Many marriages struggle because couples never talked about things that actually shape daily life. Hello and welcome to my YouTube space. If you are seeing my face for the first time, my name is Gift. And on this channel, I make videos to help singles and couples prepare better for marriage. Today, I want to talk about some conversations I believe are very, very important to have before getting married. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, make sure to watch till the end. The first conversation to have before getting married is about your expectations of marriage. What do you think marriage will give you? What are your expectations from your partner spiritually, emotionally, financially, and even practically? Talk about your expectations because a lot of people are disappointed in their marriages because what they thought their marriage will give them or their partner will give them is not what they're experiencing in their marriage. And that's one of the leading causes of divorce. People are disappointed because unspoken expectations become future silent disappointments. So make sure to tell your partner what you expect from him or her. Because when you do that, you are telling them how you want them to show up for you in that marriage. And the best time to talk about it is before you get married. Do you know why? It is because when you tell them before you get married, if it is something that they cannot give to you, you guys can end the relationship, go your separate ways, and be happy. Who knows? The perfect match for you might just be waiting for you to end that relationship that is not going to work. So make sure you talk about what you expect from your partner so that you'll not be disappointed in your marriage, all right? The conversation I believe every couple must have before marriage is about conflict and communication. How do you handle disagreements? It's very, very likely that you and your partner do not handle disagreement the same way. You might be the type that likes to talk about a disagreement immediately it happens. You want to sort it, you want it to be solved right now. But your partner might be the type that just wants time to think about everything. Just needs time to be alone first and think and process things before they talk about, before actually settling that disagreement. So that's why before you get married, it's important to talk about it so that you guys can agree on how you settle your conflicts. The best time to do this really is before you get married. You can still learn it after marriage, but I recommend talking about it before you get married because also you have to know things like are we going to shout in front of the kids when we have kids? Are we allowed to use abusive language when we are angry at each other? Is it allowed for us to go to bed mad at each other? You see, you guys don't have to have matching personalities. What is important for you is to have compatible communication styles. So you may not have that individually before meeting each other, but when you do meet each other, you can agree on how you actually want to communicate and settle conflicts in your marriage. So talk about it. Another conversation to have before getting married is about boundaries and family. Healthy boundaries do not dishonor family. It protects marriage. So ask each other, when we get married, how involved will family be? How involved will mom and dad be? How involved will our siblings be? I've heard of so many stories where wives are miserable in their own homes because their mother-in-laws, do not allow them to have peace of mind in their marriages. And these things happen because you guys never talked about boundaries and family before entering into marriage. So make sure you talk about boundaries and family because you'll be surprised how much influence your family members can have in your marriage, how much of a blessing they can be, or how much of a cause they can be, depending on the boundaries that you set around them. So if you're currently planning to get married, make sure you have this conversation with your partner. Ask them how involved our parents going to be, how much will dad and mom hear, how much will our siblings hear. Do you understand? So make sure to have these conversations. Also remember to have conversations around boundaries with friends. That's also very, very important because a lot of women don't have boundaries around their friends. So when they get married, they say things about their husbands they're not supposed to tell their friends. They tell these things to their friends. So make sure you talk about your boundaries. Another very important conversation to have before getting married is about faith, values, and purpose. Even in faith-based marriages, values must be discussed. Let me give you an example. Say you are a man, a Christian man, who believes that he has been called into ministry, and you meet this church girl, that loves Jesus, And so because she think that she's a church girl, you are in a relationship now, you don't tell her that I believe that I've been called into ministry. You guys enter into marriage, and then after marriage, you're telling her that I want to be a pastor, I want to go to pastoral school, I want to do this, I want to do that. And she says, no, I don't want to be a pastor's wife. You'll be disappointed, right? This what takes us back to expectations. So it is important for you to tell your partner, do not assume that because your faith, you share the same faith, that it automatically means that you have the same values. Not every lover of Jesus, every church girl wants to be a pastor's wife. So that's why it is important for you to talk about your faith, your values, and your purpose. Do you understand? Because where you want to go in life might not be where your partner wants to go. So it is important that you guys talk about these things before getting married so that you'll not be disappointed or feel like your marriage partner is enemy to your progress. Another very, very important conversation that I think every couple must have before getting married, which to me is very, 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 very important, but people often overlook it and is a leading cause of divorce. Is about money and financial values. See, guys, do not wait until you get married to talk about money. Talk about your debts. If you are in debt, let your partner know before marriage. Don't marry somebody and bring them into debt without their knowledge. So talk about your debt, talk about your savings, talk about your investments, talk about your future financial goals. Talk about these things, especially if you are going to have kids. It's important for you to start planning before you get married. You know, depending on how many kids you want to have, you know that okay, maybe where you are, what you are currently doing to make money you will not be able to take cater for the number of kids and the kind of life you want to give them. You have to talk about how to make more money, not after you get married, but before you get married. Because people are leaving their marriages because of financial stress. And here we're not leaving our marriage is not an option. All right. So let us be smart. Let us be smart and prepare before we actually get into marriage. You see, a lot of the things I've talked about, the conversations I've talked about are leading causes of divorce currently. So we do not want to. This is a time where you have knowledge, access to know a lot of things. So we don't really have much excuses to give for not having the right conversations before marriage. That's why also I put together a mini workbook with these conversations that I just talked about to help couples prepare better for marriage. The workbook is designed to be answered individually. Then, after answering them individually, the couples come together to talk about them. Preparing for marriage is not about being fearful, it's about being wise. So make sure you prepare before you get married, all right? If this video was helpful, please make sure to like, share, and leave a comment. See you in my next video. Bye for now.